All right, we're going to be testing this out. We should be good to go. We'll only go here maybe 10 minutes or so. Um, Ecamm's pretty trippy, I'll say that. Shout out to the replay crew. If you're watching this, it's going to be weird. So I got this thing and the iPad connected through an app that actually Ecamm told me to go ahead and get Epoch Cam. Pretty sure they said, hey, download this, do that, make sure you're on the same network, and then yeah, sure enough, it just it just popped up. I'm gonna keep an eye on the time though because we have uh, Mike and Mike's Thursday night stream happening top of the hour, 15 minutes from now. I just wanted to see what exactly what happens here. Yeah, I don't see any, and this is all so different from StreamYard. There's all sorts of windows. Let's see here. What if I can change to the built-in? Oh, what? So weird. Oh, hey, someone's in here. I can't see who it is though. Hey, thanks for stopping in. I'm testing Ecamm out. I normally use StreamYard. Uh, Pretty trippy. Hey, George. Let's see what happens if I click on this. Add to broadcast. Hey, there we go. This is so different than StreamYard, George. And it's right here. There it is. It's always right behind me. Pretty messy. I was in the middle of detailing it, detangling it. Excuse me. Barry Johnson in the house. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Barry. iPad Mini and Epoch Cam or iPhone and Epoch Cam. So I'm running this obviously on the MacBook, and then my 2020 12.9 iPad Pro is running Epoch on there, and then just Wi-Fi and just check the two boxes. Allow network access, allow camera access, and it pops right in. So I see that here, the built-in camera, the famous potato cam, and then this one. So it's I feel like I'm like in someone else's house. You know what I mean? I'm like, where's everything? The hair's too hidden, you say, George? Well, turn my head a little. You know, but this is interesting. This is cool. It said 14 days, I believe. It's going to be every the full version. So this is interesting. There's a lot. Camera effects, comments and reactions, interview pro, an interview window, 120 minutes of interview trial time, and I can pick different cameras of myself. I'll have to get someone who's a pro here. Yeah, you know what, George, I'm feeling like I'm out of my element here in this one. I got my sound. So as far as like the two things that I do, to make sure every time your audio video. So those were easy. Those were a drop down. I see them here. It's like, oh, built in. No, don't use built in. Use iPad and use the Roadcaster. And then um, everything's basically empty. That's again, it's brand new. So I've got uh, the trial watermark up here in the corner over here. Yeah, yeah. I don't see it on that one, but I see it in the stream. I guess I can add a whole bunch of scenes. Um, I'm wondering. I don't have a logo, so that would be the next thing. Would be to figure out you know what how to even start with that. What do I want my logo to be? Am I gonna just use my name? Am I gonna use my Twitter handle? Uh, Something completely different because again, I didn't really like pick one. I know I'm my brand, but as far as like a name or something catchy, I don't want it to look just clean, cool. Shout out to actually Oscar. I really dig how he has his OROD tech, and again the name is cool and pretty easy. Really, it's well when you have a name as cool as his. I kind of don't really like my name, which is why I'm obviously using an alias, my DJ name and an old a version of that in my old producer name, Sequence, which I actually got from a step sequencer inside of a beat making software. So it's one of the tools you can use to repeat a symbol, repeat a sequence of you know any sounds that you want and you know multiples of four. So I just thought, hey, that's kind of cool. Put my I used to just to go by a sequence by itself and then added Mark to it. But yeah, with Oscar Rodriguez, O Rod Tech, which is the niche that he's in, what he's focusing on. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Um, one of the reasons I intentionally went vague, and I used to have DJ in front of it, DJ Mark or DJ Mark sequence, DJ sequence, and all that stuff. I took it off because I'm like, I haven't again, other than practicing, I haven't had a gig in like 2 years for what's happening in the world, and so I was like, well, let me take that off. I was like, I thought, I mean, who am I, DJ Khaled? No, of course not. Um, so I just wanted to see how this thing is, and what direction, if any, to go. I've always, you know, I've been curious. I'm like, ooh, if I were to do YouTube, it's like people keep telling me, oh, you should go on YouTube, or you on YouTube, going, and then, boom, here I am. So, uh, I never really, aside from removing, I'm like, let me take that out so I can kind of get a feel for what, and see maybe if I'm drawn towards something, or something else that pops up. George says he's was 6 months in before he created his logo. Always learning. Yeah, is this the first iteration here that I'm looking at right now? Mobile Geezer. Did you have other design? And also, it's a little small on my screen, but what's it supposed to be? If you don't mind me asking, I can only see, like, what is that, hexagon? The setup looks okay. I wanted also, instead of using this camera, the built-in and the 2012 MacBook Pro, which is the um, 720p cam, and the free version, which is what I'm using just to try it out of StreamYard. I know it caps at 720, but 720 plus 720, I didn't really like how it was looking out specifically on Lover of Tech Stream. Obviously, I was going to get shown up because Mr. 4K, as I call him, that he has some of the crispiest audio and video, I believe, in on most, if not all of tech, at least from what I've seen. That he gives us the option to go all the way up to 4K 2160. So that's cool for when you have it available to you, again, like on the TV, and then if your bandwidth can handle it, obviously you can have YouTube go automatically. So that's cool too, that it'll adjust, but that he gives us, leaves it up to us. I like that. I really dig that. So shout out to him. But going back, luckily the audio stayed pretty. I don't know what the problem was. That was my first time. He uses OBS, so that was also, I was like, okay. I thought I was gonna get better stability out of this. We still ran into problems. So, and when I went back, I was watching what's happening. Like, oh man, that looks horrible. Again in comparison, but also by itself. And so I went to, I'm like, let me switch them back. Let me go back. If I have problems, I have problems on the iPad, whatever. I installed two more of the Xfinity, you know, um, mesh. What do they call them? The expanders, the little plugs. You plug them in. I got one up here, one downstairs. Uh, I don't know. Again, it still would kind of sputter me out. So it would look like they would freeze. Whoever was on the panel on the stream with me would freeze, and then myself would, and then I would get the wheels. I'm like, okay, it was me, and then I could switch over to um, the stream on YouTube, and I can see how I'm like, oh, it's me. I'm like, that's whatever. I tried everything else that I can and restarted stuff, and the only other thing Michael Pepper pointed out, he's like, maybe you're running the beta, huh? And I'm like, yeah, on the iPad I'm running the beta. And he said maybe that's interfering with Safari, with StreamYard. It's weird because StreamYard, I think, recommends using Chrome, but on iPad it's like, oh, use Safari. I'm like, well, okay. That was my final design. It's on my cars and everything. Mobile Geezer. Oh snap! That's right, George. Hey, you ready for tomorrow? I haven't forgotten. I'm ready. I am ready for another good time. But yeah, so I'm gonna definitely have to spend more time in here again. Before spending money, they'll give me 2 weeks. So this is day one. I'm gonna be clicking around, and I mean, again, I don't. I'd have to come up with, like, logos or patterns or something to even plaster everywhere, because they're giving me the option to do that. I know StreamYard limits it to the default. You have to keep the watermark and the default wallpaper, and so OBS is very powerful, but a big learning curve, in my honest opinion. We would assume that your opinion would be honest. Hey, George, you had to point that out. Guilty conscience, watching you. No, lots of good videos to help though. Yeah, with all set for tomorrow. Perfect. How Yeah, I've been again, paying more attention to YouTube and content creation and streaming, where I've been here OBS specifically. C Ova, I know he likes it. Um, and then earlier in Viper's Coffee Talk, they were talking. It was good. We got on the tangent, but it was a tangent that I think everyone wanted to get on and sharing. Well, here's what I use. Here's what I've used. Here are the problems therein. Here's how I solved some of them. Here's what I couldn't solve. So I was taking mental notes there, and I just learned that I knew OBS was a streaming software. I didn't know that it was unclear to me whether you could broadcast with it or directly through there. And some people were saying no, you can, and maybe their information again was um, old from whenever they were interacting with the software. So other people were saying no, we've used it recently, or they just added it. I would imagine through an update. There's yeah, you can go directly through OBS. You can obviously use it with other stuff to let that do your actual broadcasting. But as far as setting everything up and piecing stuff together and your overlays or what have you, then you can do all that inside OBS. But yeah, the general consensus ultimately was that yeah, you now can go through and through OBS start to finish the entire thing, and then that to the platform of your choice, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which is what we're on now. Humble opinion, not on. Oh, so you're humbly, maybe not telling us the whole truth, George. What's going on? This isn't looking good. But yeah, so it's 55 minutes to the top of the hour right now. And thank you guys for stopping in. I think just to get everyone else, not step on any toes and ready again. I'll be also in the chat for the first half of Mike and Ike's Thursday nights, which of course will be Mike, Tech King Mike, TKM. He always got he's always got a good stream going on over there, a good time. I think on Twitter I had asked him, T, and Ike, so two of the three streaming tonight. That so Ike uses StreamYard, and I believe it was 2 points for Ecamm, which is why I was like, what, let me hop on and jump in and try it and see what's going on. At least I hope. I mean, over here on what I'm seeing, it looks sharp. I'm gonna have to maybe do the replay now. I don't have YouTube open. I just have Ecamm Live open. So I'll hopefully it's not lying to me. And like I know sometimes on StreamYard it'll show me a better photo on over here on my end, but when you open YouTube and through compression, that it modifies it. Stop twisting my words, you sick puppy. I should be used to it by now. I should me used to it by now. You're the one doing the twisting, George. I mean, here's proof, right here. All right, right there. Yeah, right here. It's kind of weird, but this is cool. I like it. I like it. That's interesting. I think I'm gonna shut it again. Just 2 minutes for Tech King Mike's one of two acts tonight for streaming. Thank you guys for stopping in, the lurkers, the replay crew, and we'll do this again soon. Maybe after both events, maybe even tomorrow or something. We'll see. I may hop back on this. I might just go back to StreamYard. It's a little strange, but yeah. Thank you guys. Now let's see if I can end this. Let's see, finish mode. Okay, maybe that. All right.